Hey guys, welcome to the video. Salt here. Today we're going to be going over the melee weapon, the Masseter Prime. But before we start, let's go over our commenter board. Our first commenter of the last video was Joel Orocho 2594, and our top commenter of the last video is Soulkiller 7836. And then we have our recent channel supporters here of Whoopty-Wham, Nice Bear, and Colonel 06. Thank you so much for your support. Unique and interesting things about the Masseter Prime is that while wielded by Grendel, while he's doing a heavy attack, he's immune to crowd control effects. But for other Warframes, there's really no other unique and interesting things. There is some stats I want to point to though with the Masseter. Let's go into the upgrade screen here. If we look, its base attack speed is slightly above average. That's pretty good. And its base range is 2.9, which is really nice. So those are two good stats to start off with. Okay, let's go over the mods now. And you could probably already notice this is going to be a basic build for a melee weapon. This is like the basic max DPS setup for like 90% of the melee weapons in the game. Obviously, minus the stance, because the stance changes. So I looked really deep into the Masseter to see if maybe there was something different about it that would change the build up, and there's nothing really. It's a pretty basic weapon. It does have good stats though, but nothing that changes the build up from what it normally would be. So we're gonna have Voltaic Strike first as the 60/60 electric. We're using this to trigger our arcane, which is gonna be melee influence. Melee influence here. On a melee electricity status, 20% chance for elemental melee status effects to apply to enemies within 20 meters for 18 seconds. Now we have Galvanized Steel for critical chance and critical damage. Organ Shatter for critical damage. Gladiator Might for critical chance and critical damage. Condition Overload for 80% melee damage per unique status type affecting the target. Berserker Fury for 70% attack speed. On some weapons that are above attack speed, I do recommend using Gladiator Vice, which is only 30% attack speed, but you get another 110 crit chance. However, the Masseter Prime, even though it is above attack speed, it's counted as a heavy blade, which their animations are already kind of slow. And so even though this is an above average attack speed, I would not recommend Gladiator Vice. I would still recommend Berserker Fury. Just It'll feel a lot better with that 70% attack speed rather than only 30. Blood Rush in the next slot for 440% crit chance. Weeping Wounds for 440% status chance. In the stance slot, you have three options here. They're all quite good. Tempo Royale is one that a lot of people use. However, if you are a lazy piece of shit like myself, I like to just do the forward light all the time. I'm just lazy. I just run around forward lighting. And Rending Crane completely dumpsters both Cleaving Whirlwind and Tempo Royale in terms of the forward light. It's damn near double the DPS. And you know, the other ones are better than Rending Crane in the other combos. If you like doing the neutral light or the forward block or the neutral block, then yeah, the other ones are better. But if you're a lazy piece of shit like me, Rending Crane will beat out the other two. Disciples Merit for the Tennokai mod. This is going to let you Tennokai after every 4 melee hits. And then in the arcane slot, we already went over it, it's melee influence. This is how you build out the melee weapon, the Masseter Prime. I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, consider leaving a like and subscribing for future content. So now we have a 5-minute gameplay portion showcasing the weapon, and when that's done, we'll come back to the Orbiter and give it our final thoughts. Now, when it comes to melee weapons, we don't do a full score and ranking, and that's because pretty much all melee weapons in the game will reach a cap on Steel Path, especially early Steel Path, where they're actually fighting more because of the spawns not coming out quick enough rather than their killing power. So, you know, you can compare something like the Ghoul Saw, kind of a meme weapon, to like some crazy Incarnate weapon, and they're gonna both score the same kill per minute. And you'd be like, why? Well, why is that? And it's because they're both reaching that cap. Melee weapons are just really powerful, and they just reach that cap. So it's not an easy one to give like an A, B, C kind of a tier list with. To do a proper tier on melee weapons, I would have to test these at level cap, which I really don't have time to do for every single video. But just keep that in mind. So when we come back to the Orbiter, we'll just give it our final thoughts and what we think about the weapon. Alrighty, we're about to start this gameplay portion up here. Let's go to Hack Terminal and we'll get into the Masseter Prime. Now when I do a melee showcase, I always use one external, and that's gonna be my little pet priming for me. And that's because pretty much every melee weapon in the game, minus like 1 or 2 melee types, are going to use a mod called Condition Overload. And Condition Overload requires you to actually like prime for it to actually work. So I just use my little pet to prime for me. It's my Dirige build. I have a video up about it. He does 8 to 9 statuses guaranteed on enemies around you. So that's going to be about 720% extra damage. Or plus 720 flat, I should say. And when it comes to the stances, again, like Rending Crane is kind of like the lazy one. Does the most damage in its forward light, which is kind of what I like doing. But check out Tempo Royale. Tempo Royale is one that's really good if you like doing the other combos, because it will beat out Rending Crane in some of the other combos. And Cleaving Whirlwind a lot of times is kind of considered like the worst one, but it still has some pretty fun combos. I really like the forward light in it, even though it doesn't beat Rending Crane's forward light. It's still fun. It makes you feel like a Whirlwind Barbarian. But I guess it's more fun than effective, I should say, for Cleaving Whirlwind. I think the two serious ones are either Rending Crane for the lazy forward light, or Tempo Royale for the more serious combos if you plan on doing them. And I get all the DPS information on the combos from the wiki. Nothing special, just go to the wiki, go on Google, type in like Rending Crane, or go on Google, type in like Cleaving Whirlwind or any of the other stances for heavy blades. And it'll scroll down a little bit and it'll actually break down all the DPS calcs for the different stances. Or the different combos in the stance, I should say. And it'll actually tell you if there's a forward slash in any of them as well. Most of the time, forward lights don't have forward slashes. I think there's like 1 or 2 weapon types where they do. Maybe it's like daggers or something like that. I can't remember. But most of the time, like the forward light, you're going to use the forward light because it has the best movement. So you kind of like, you trade one thing for another. They usually don't give you a forward slash in the forward light because of it. Whereas some of the other slower or like more immobile combos, they'll give you some forward slashes on. I must have wasted my heavy somewhere because my heavy just went away for some reason. Or not my heavy, my combo, I should say. Must have. I fat finger my Tennokai sometimes, and I click it too early, or too late, I should say. And I'll lose all of my combo. So it'll take me a few seconds to get it back up. I have kind of bad reflexes, and so most of the time I actually use the Tennokai mod. It's called Opportunities Reach. Now, Opportunities Reach is not the best for DPS, and that's why I don't showcase it on my build when I do showcase, because I'm showing off like the best DPS one. But if you are a old man that has bad reflexes, try out Opportunities Reach. It gives you a whole 4 seconds to press your Tennokai button. So if you're like me and you press your Tennokai a little bit too late, a lot of times, Opportunities Reach will give you a whole 4 seconds to press it. You get a little bit of extra range on your heavy too, so like you don't have to feel too bad about using Opportunities Reach. It won't beat out Disciples Merit though for like DPS. I don't know if I said this already. I'm sorry if I'm going to repeat myself here. But the Masseter has a slightly above average slam radius as well. So don't feel bad if you want to convert your Tennokais into like jumps and slams as well. Most heavy blades are 9 meters, and the Masseter is 10 meters for its slam radius. So not a huge difference, but hey, a little bit of a difference there. So, okay, we got the Acolyte coming. This will obviously chew through the Acolyte, just like most melee weapons do. It's Malice. Malice is dangerous if you're going to use ranged weapons, but he's easy if you're going to use melees. Spawned underneath us, as is tradition. Now he's on top, as is tradition. Oh, I missed that heavy on him. All right, let's get these Thoraxes down. Oh, they're dead already. I think Influence must have killed them. Well, not dead, but they're in their little ghost forms. All right. So 5 minutes, 500 kills. So we'll end it here, go back to the Orbiter. Welcome back to the Orbiter, guys. So let's give our final thoughts on the Masseter Prime. So I think if you're early or midway through the game, you're gonna have a really good time with the Masseter Prime. It has good stats, it does good damage, just like most melee weapons do. You're just gonna have a really good time with it. Really good weapon. Now, if you're at the end game and you're looking for the most powerful melee weapons to use, the Masseter does have the issue where it's powerful, but a lot of melee weapons are powerful, and a lot of those powerful melee weapons also come with something extra. Maybe they come with a free stat, like an element on the weapon. Maybe they come with a free trait that does something else. You know, they're powerful and they have something extra. The Masseter doesn't have that extra, it's just powerful. And so, you know, when you're looking at like the best melee weapons in the game, it's not gonna be the Masseter because of that, because it's just powerful. So that's my take. Tell me what you guys think. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. All right, bye.